I hope that this picks up sound alright. I'm recording from my computer because my phone has absolutely no storage. And it's quite funny because I would much rather continue to complain about it than actually do something about it, which is a problem within itself. So I just need to sit down and just really clean out my phone. It's like a weird mindset that I've had around it. But that mindset ties into a lot of things. It stems from the phone, but then it just grows and gets bigger from there. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's been a change of scenery. It's just been a crazy day. I consider myself a pretty flexible person, and in every way possible. I'm pretty adaptable, and I just change to things as they happen. But my parents, they're very last minute Andes, and as I've tried to get my life a little bit more together, it can be a little bit frustrating. So I've found myself learning to sing "That's Life," because that is how I am choosing to cope with this. I mean, ultimately, it's whatever, but yeah. So I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about today. I just know that I wanted to talk today. And I was going to say, I don't mean to complain. I mean, that's true. I don't mean to complain. But sometimes one does need to complain. But this is not what that's going to be about. We're currently in Vegas, and we're outside because it's just too crazy inside. I was going to continue working because I work remotely. But I fear that I may become dehydrated fairly soon. So we shall see how long that lasts. But anyways, I wanted to talk about the concept of time and how it seems to rule everything that it is that we do or don't do. Matter of fact, I think that's people's number one complainer, oh, I don't have time, I this, I that, time, and I'm a huge believer that we all have the time, in the sense that, sorry, it's really hot and my skin's about to burn off. I'm a huge believer that we all have the ability to make time for the things we want to make time to, and I say that because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and it's silly enough that we all use those differently, which is good. As we should use them differently. But I think that to complain about time, and in a way, this is a hypocritical comment to be making, because I've complained about time before. To some capacity, I still do. So a lot of the things that I'm saying here are things that it's note to self. But yeah, we all have the same time amount allotted in a day. And I really do think that it's just a matter of organization and just even wanting to. I mean, but I think there's also different, it crosses different boundaries. Not boundaries. Well, it can because there's also different factors to consider, emergencies and social battery and just want. So I'm talking most specifically about things that one wants to do, in regards to goals, aspirations, seeing friends or family, things of that nature. Obviously, if you want to do those things, yeah. But I think also within that, it's very important to like have time for ourselves, because we're always constantly thinking of like, oh, like how can I have time for this person, that person, to do this, to work on that, to go to work, to do work, to and like it's so many different factors outside of ourselves. But we, oddly enough, rarely think of, is there enough time allotted, is that even a word? I think it's a word, but I'm probably using it correctly. Is there enough time left for me to do something for me? And so, yeah, ways that I've tried to like do that more is ways I've tried to do that more is by like setting out like specific days, like Sundays or days that I usually try to not do anything. Does that always happen? No, but sometimes it does. Or just redefining the definition of self-care to me has been really helpful, because I just had like a pre-notion before that self-care was fucking face masks and cucumbers on my face and painting my toes, and just very stereotypical perception of self-care. But that isn't realistic to carry out every single day. I mean, there's obviously people that do, and like slave for them. I'm just not one of those people. And I've kind of just like redefined it in like smaller ways that are still taking care of myself. Like if I drink water, like at least a liter of water, it's like boom, like slay. Or if I go to sleep at a decent time, or sometimes even like minuscule things like flossing my teeth, like I consider self-care, because there was a time where I was doing none of those things and not taking care of myself at all. So to me, it's like a huge drastic difference and upkeep and something that I have to like put effort into trying to develop a habit, because it comes much easier for me to just not care. So yeah, so sometimes even giving a fuck can just change a lot of things. Like I'm all for like the nonchalant movement, you know, like slay, but I think that we need to like at least like give a fuck about ourselves, because if you don't give a fuck about yourself, who will? That's the truth. So yeah, but time, I think time is a very interesting concept, and I think that the people who complain, you know, again, I've fallen into this category before, and sometimes I still do, but I'm working on it, about it, may not be good problem solvers, or just may actually not be, like, when, like, I don't know, it's like a huge pet peeve of mine when people complain about like being busy, or like, it's like one of those things that's like, if you have to say it, then it's probably not true. Like, you know, people that like they're like, oh, like I'm funny, then you're probably not funny if you're saying that you're funny. Or people are like, well, I have a lot of money, then like oftentimes maybe that's not like true, because if you did, like, you wouldn't, like, there's just some things that you don't have to say. And I think that if you are inherently just like a busy person, like, it'll show. And I don't know, that's just my take on that. But yeah, it's just a spur of the moment thought process. But I do think that organization is just really, really important. And if you don't want to give a fuck about other people, at least give a fuck about yourself. That's life.